Hey, good morning. Good morning. Facebook, hope you're doing awesome. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose with yours truly, Mark Avens. I am the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough, a coaching program designed specifically for moms and dads, busy moms and dads who are looking to lose weight without long workouts and impossible diets. That's a side note. Here is the Daily Dose. This is purely a dose of encouragement for you. We are on episode number 29, so welcome if you've joined me before. I just want to first say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in, to listening to what I have to say. And actually, it goes with what I have to say today, because what you say matters, and realizing every time I come on here live, whatever I say, it matters. So I can say things, I can say negative things, I can, be hurtful to people when I come on here live or when I talk face to face with somebody, or I can choose a different option, right? And for these daily doses at 8 a.m., what you're going to get is a daily dose of encouragement. And the reason why I started doing this now 29 days ago, kind of in the heart of us being in the confinement mode, if you will, just kind of being hunkered down and being stuck at home, is people were getting down, getting negative. I even found myself getting a little bit discouraged. And the only way to change that is to change kind of what's up here. And while that started to change, I felt that also is something that if I have the ability to help somebody else improve or encourage or help to just boost them up, to lift them up, then I'm going to do it. So why not? And I have an audience of, even if it's just one person that I help today, it'll be well worth the 10-15 minutes that I share with you. So with that, I wanted to say thank you. If you come on here, let me know when you're here. I want to see who you are, where you live. Feel free to say hello, welcome. I want this to be as interactive as possible. But what I say matters. What you say matters. And it is really interesting. I want to talk about two different things. As I was reading in the book of James, and it talks about taming of the tongue is in chapter 3. And I was interested, and it made me think of me coming on here live often and people listening to me and things that I have to say. And I have to be really careful. I say careful, not like, am I worried about what other people think of me? Not that so much as just worried about, because I can help boost somebody up, but also can tear somebody down. And I say this on a Monday because this is something not just for us having the ability to either build people up or tear them down. It also requires you to do the same for yourself. Here's the thing is, what you say matters, not just to other people out there. Hey, Lisa, what you say also matters to yourself, because I find a lot of times, Mondays especially, and I don't know if you feel this, but sometimes when maybe you had a terrible week or weekend, or, think about in my world with people that are on a healthier path, trying to lose weight, trying to get that weight off, and trying to get on a healthier plan, trying to exercise more and eat healthier and feel better about themselves and be better for their families and for the generations and all those things. It's very easy to start thinking and start saying negative things to yourself. So I know for a fact, if you start saying negative things to yourself, it's going to be very easy to start saying and start thinking and start talking negative things to other people. So there's got to be at least a little bit of first talking to yourself in a manner that's going to fill you up, going to boost you, not tear you down. And I know the hardest thing is mentally is sometimes, there's people out there, and I know I've been across them. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. If you lost connection, I stopped myself. It's very easy I had to take it off of Wi-Fi. I don't know why. Sometimes it just cuts out. Maybe it's the time of day. But sometimes it's very easy to get down on yourself, to start saying that you're not good enough, to start saying that you're not being the good parent, or you're not able to, you're not in good shape. You don't like the way you look. It's easy to start getting down on yourself. So what you say to yourself really matters. And it's very easy, if you're feeling bad about yourself, if you're feeling hurt, it's very easy to want to turn and hurt other people. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but hurt people. Right? It's something I realized. I know I've been hurt many times, and I know I've probably hurt some people as well. And I know typically if I've hurt somebody, it's probably because I'm hurting. And I know when I felt hurt from others, it's very easy to just get mad and angry with them. But also you can turn and realize that there's also an opportunity, thinking like, they're probably hurting. Maybe we should just pray for them. So what you say to yourself matters. That's why I want to share this with this week, being a Monday, fresh new start. You can have a new beginning. You can start to speak light and life into your life. You can start speaking that into others. What you say matters, whether you're talking on a live on Facebook or talking to your neighbor, or you're going through the grocery store, or maybe somebody's on your butt and you're driving, you're driving slow and somebody's kind of coming up behind you being a reckless driver, and it's easy to get angry and mad and curse them out or what have you. Or it could be like, maybe, there's a reason why that maybe they're hurting, maybe they're in the rush to get somewhere, is maybe they could use our prayers. I know it's very hard. Trust me, it is hard to have that kind of patience with people, as also with kind of curbing your mouth. That's taming of the tongue. That's what basically in James 3 talks about, is taming the tongue. So I want to share with you, is really interesting, because the news, you think of the news, actually the challenge I mentioned yesterday about turning off the news. And the news is a perfect example of what happens, right? The news is filled with people criticizing other people. At the end of the day, I don't care what channel news you watch. I don't care if it's true news, if it's fake news, if it's anything in between. If there's an opinion, I can tell you most of the time it's spent criticizing other people. So my challenge, which I don't watch the news, so it really doesn't affect me too much, but I posed this challenge yesterday about going 1 week without the news. And if you looked in the comments, feel free to go back and look. And you'll hear people that were like, I think the most is 20 years not watching the news. And by all means, reach out to them. I guarantee you they're still informed with what's going on in the world. They're probably informed just as much as anybody else. And I guarantee you their probably levels of stress are a lot lower. They probably have a lot more confidence in themselves because they're not being criticized. They're not listening to criticism in others. It's not kind of changing that mindset. Because when you start to listen to people that are criticizing and talking down on people and being angry with people, is sooner or later that starts to rub off on you. It starts to wear on you, and then it becomes a part of you. That's kind of the other part of this, is our words truly have the power to destroy or to build up. And I want to just share with you, I hope this is encouraging. And in fact, my daily doses are just for encouragement. I want to encourage you. This is not to just talk smack and blow smoke. I can tell you that I've never been, right now, seriously, right now, I've never been more encouraged by the people that I'm connecting with, maybe online, even some of the neighbors talking from a distance, phone calls, some of my coaching clients, who live all over the world and stuff. And I've never been more encouraged now, because I feel like there's a shift going on where people are realizing that, you know what, kindness actually is what we all could use right now, right? Things that are kind, people that say kind things. Listen, one of the things I learned, and I believe it's scriptural too, it's biblical, but before you speak, think of these three things. Before you speak, is what you say true? First off, is it true? Okay, good. Okay, go to step 2. Now, is what I say necessary? Is something that I say necessary? And then third, is it kind? So there's 3 things in there. Thinking of this is that what you say, is it true? Okay, cool, it might be true. But then next, is it necessary to say? And that could be like step 2. And then is it kind? I hope that my words of encouragement to you. Now, again, truth, I'm only giving you truth of encouragement. That's it. You're never going to hear me talk negative. In fact, I catch myself. In fact, it was probably the 10 minutes that I put on the news, or maybe saw a post that somebody put negative about maybe about the president, or about, what's going on, or about the government, or about, resources, about closing the beaches, all those things. And I think those are only moments where I start to get that negative thought, that like it almost draws me away. It's so easy to slip. And I would say is here's the one thing as Christians, again, whether you're Christian or not, just sharing it. And even if you know God and know how much God loves you, how can we love God 1 minute? Think about this. And then the next minute tear down people. Here's the other thing I learned, is it's very hard to keep your eyes on God and his pursuit for your life. You can't keep one eye on God and one eye looking down and trying to tear down and destroy somebody else. Does that make sense? Like, truly, does that make sense? So I always think when I'm looking down, say if I look down or I'm judging somebody, and trust me, I do it. I'm human. I definitely get angry and I get mad, and I see people that are doing things wrong, and I even do it myself. It's so easy for us to see the wrong in somebody else. And I would say, when I do that, I try to shift my mindset and thinking like, how am I able to look down on that person in judgment and anger and just, saying you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, and kind of condemning them, so to speak. How can I be doing that and looking up at God at the same time? It's just not possible, right? Does that make sense too? Like, I hope that makes sense. So I wrote a few things down. One of the things I put it as a prayer this morning, asking the Lord to give me the tongue that seeks and blesses him and blesses others. I hope that the words that I have for you, that I feel that are being spoken from God through me to you, is that he wants me to come on here and build people up. He wants me to be the encouragement if you need that encouragement. And I'll tell you what, even if you feel maybe you're not good enough or feel like, oh, I'm not a leader, I can't encourage, trust me, you can. I'm a trainer guy, fitness coach, right? Like, I've encouraged people to take better care of themselves and to know that their best is still yet to come with regards to their health. And again, that's my jam. Like, that's my deal, to help encourage people there. But I know right now, like, sometimes the last thing is like, people want to think about, losing weight right now. Well, maybe I can encourage you to start taking one step towards better health. And maybe that's what you need today. Maybe that's simply what you're saying to yourself today is what truly can matter right now, today, to get you through this week. So I want to just share one other thing. It was really interesting in James 3, and I'll finish with this because I think it was really great. You think of when I talked about how can we love God one minute and next tear him down, in James 3:3 is really interesting how he talks about how our words are so powerful. And you think of as something as small as our tongue can have so much power. And the way he shared it is three things. He talked about ships. You think of a giant ship guided. They have, big motors, and they have, big giant ships. You can think of like even a cruise ship, and you look at what steers the ship, right? What steers it to go one direction or the other. And it's like a little, well, maybe not in a cruise ship, but just think in any boat, the little rudder, right? The little rudder is pretty small compared to the boat. And that's, if you will, is our tongue. That our tongues can guide our days, can guide what we are saying to ourselves. It can guide, and it can have a lot of power in the direction that we go in with life. And same the other two things. It's really cool. In case you haven't, if you haven't figured it out, I really love the Bible. I love what it says. I love the messages. James is an awesome one. I'm doing a study right now. It's fantastic. And I've gone through James in the past. And think of this. Think of how horses are guided. Now, we had a horse growing up, and I remember they had what's called the bit. You put the bit in the mouth. And the bit in the mouth, think of this, the horse, giant horse. Like, we had a quarter horse growing up. My sister had it, and it was like 15 or 16 hands. I can't remember. It was a big horse, right? Like, it would, if it lay down, it would squish you or fell over. But you think of how a horse is directed and guided is through the bit. They put this little tiny thing in the mouth, and that directs the horse one way or the other. So just think of those things. And then this is the other thing, which I think almost is one of the most powerful, is think of a forest that sets fire. You think of the fires out west, and you think of the giant fires that happen. How did that start, right? How did the fires out west started from this small little flame, like this little tiny flame. Hey, Elizabeth, and then it caused these forest fires. Like, it started with a spark that lit. And that, I think sometimes, if you're that person that's watching the news, if you're that person that's just like soaked in it, and you just find yourself being angry, and man, it's like, that's directing you, that's guiding you. Maybe the news is your bit and it's pulling you in that direction. Well, you can be encouraged. You can get pulled in a different direction, a healthier direction. Maybe that's something that you haven't pursued yet. Understanding, for me, I'll tell you what, for me, the power that I learn in my day to help encourage me by others, I have mentors and coaches, and my beautiful wife, and why I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I spend quiet time. I get so encouraged what's in the Bible. I'm so encouraged by that, and I hope this encourages you as well. Again, why I'm sharing this is because I can't just keep it to myself. I think of any times right now, it's Christians out there. You have an opportunity, Christian men and women. And I would say is, if you feel you're not capable enough, or you're not, what you say, what won't matter, truly it will matter. If you have any kind of story, any kind of testimony, any kind of pursuit in God, chances are you can be that encouragement to others in a world that's so broken right now, in a world that's filled with, just the talk that destroys everything from our well-being. It destroys our outlook on life. The world's coming to an end. I'm not living like that. I don't know if you want to live like that, but to me, that isn't truly living. That's more like dying, right? Careless words stab with a sword. You get stabbed with a sword, chances are you're going to die. Like, I don't want to die right now, so I choose words that hopefully are uplifting to you. They're uplifting to me. I grab it from scripture. I grab it from people that help boost me up, my coaches, my mentors, my relationships with people that are encouraging. And like I said, back to the beginning, is what you say matters. Think of this. If you're speaking life into your own life, if you're speaking good, positive things into your life, chances are you're going to be able to do that much easier to other people. So I don't know what that looks like for you, but I can tell you if you're not. Let me just do on a side note, because I mentioned that in the beginning. If you are struggling right now, if you're that person that has just been in a dang rut, like completely stuck, and you feel worthless, you feel not good enough, not healthy enough, not fit enough, you know your body is quickly declining, you're not just getting older, not just getting in worse shape, that your body is failing, and I can tell you, if that's the case, if you don't know where to turn, reach out to me. You and I will get on a call. You and I will talk. We're not going to just talk encouragement. We're going to talk action steps, because maybe this week is your chance, your opportunity to take a step in the right direction. Because if you can be around a coach like me, can help you on that healthier path. Again, my program's chances are it's probably not the right fit for you. And to be completely honest, I'm not looking for people that are looking for like, hey, I just want some quick fix. I'm ready to take on people who want to go on a journey to not just be encouraged, but to live their best and their healthiest life. When you start to live that healthiest life, sometimes it becomes an internal thing that's needed to change first before the external can happen. Yeah, I want to lose weight and I want to fit in my bikini and I want to fit in my clothes better and I want to look good naked. But sometimes it has to happen with the mindset. And sometimes it has to happen with learning what you say to yourself and how you believe in yourself, even if things aren't perfect, is that you believe that you can improve. I don't care what age, you can improve. Trust me, I've had people as old as my oldest patient when I worked with was 107 years old. 107 years old. She broke her hip and she got back to walking again. There is a chance for you that you're not 107, but even if you're anything underneath there, you have the ability to improve. Maybe that needs to start with the words that you say to yourself. Maybe it is in beginning to start to speak life into other people. I don't know what that looks like for you, but again, I'm here to help. Reach out to me. We'll talk. Even if it's not about your health, send me a message if you like. This should be a social connecting place, Facebook, right? Not to tear down, not to say, like, listen, here's at the end of the day. And I was going to maybe do this in another post, but I'm going to share it here. If I wanted to look at the news, I'll go watch the